Good morning, G-Man, Division 3A. Welcome to your recap of Week 1. And what a week it's been in ReBBL overall, with total carnage, deaths, injuries, touchdowns, everything. Just crazy stuff, and obviously some very good players. Well, because it's ReBBL, and obviously we all know ReBBL is the most talented, best league in the world. As always, we have my good partner in crime, Crystal Hunter. Welcome, Crystal.
Yeah, thank you, Bernie.
Now then,
hello, Division 3A.
We've got to get this out the way first. How did you do in your first week on G-Man?
Kind of don't want to talk about it, mate. It was that bad.
Can't be that bad.
Yeah, it was a bit of an off day for me.
Well, we all have them.
Yeah, we all have them. I was just playing badly, and I just lost the game because of it. Basically, a lot of miscalculations, that sort of thing. So I'm not really happy about it. But it like you said, it happens to everyone. So I'll try better next week, and we'll see how that goes.
It does.
How about you?
Oh, I could cry. I don't really know how to put it. Obviously, I'm playing Case Dwarf, so everyone will probably be really happy about this. I still don't know why I picked Case Dwarfs, because anybody who knows me from the PS4, I suck with Case Dwarfs. So I've got something like about 60% record, not very good. But for some bizarre reason, I was going to go Orcs, and then I bottled it because of all the claw. I thought, you know what, I need some claw myself. Not that I ever roll doubles. And I went Case Dwarfs, and after the first season, obviously I was in the same division as Hunter, and the Dwarfs just didn't really level up at all. There was just garbage. My Hoppers did all right, and my Bulls weren't too bad. And then I got the Mickey taken out of my diving tackle ball, but we won't even go into that. So the transfers came round, and I was like, oh, do I want to re-roll or stick with the Chorfs? And people saying, oh, because you made the playoffs in your first season, oh, you won't get a waiver. But for the laugh, I just put a waiver in. What happened? I got a bull, and he was a decent bull. Had frenzy, had mighty block, and all that stuff. Great. And then for some bizarre reason, I got even more lucky. I ended up snagging a free agency Chorf, because my Chorfs weren't very good. And this Chorf was really good. He had block, guard, mighty blow, and stand firm. So I thought, bloody hell, all right, maybe it was the right call to stick with Chorfs for another season. I then watched my recap from I think it was JJ Cash, and nobody knew who I was. What was fantastic. So I was like, great, they just think I'm a PS4 console noob. Fantastic. So there's no pressure on me. Everything's happy. Going to my first game. First hit of the game for Dark Elves. Playing Dark Elves.
And I can imagine you being so happy. I mean, like with two level players like that from the market. When you were developing really slow, I was developing slow as well. We were actually the most slowest coaches of ReBBL. I think in development. It was horrible.
It was like they were saying Hunter and Bernie trying to have a little game of who can have the worst team and keep winning.
Yeah.
And so I got these, but even then, I can be quite negative. I was like, well, it's better than it was, but still haven't got any claw. Everybody else has got claw. I haven't, but hey ho. And obviously we got on, and a rock came through, knocked one of his Dark Elves out. What a great start! Knock a few more Dark Elves out. Bloody hell! All right, it's not injuries, but this is going pretty well. He's fair. And then I think 10-2, I get a chance to surf his Dark Elf Blodger. I'm thinking, hey, this is why I got Frenzy. Obviously, Frenzy didn't work. Well, it did in the fact that we knocked it down but didn't surf him. His first hit on my new signing, my new spanky 200k bull, injured. A Dark Elf. First one. Yeah, first one. Oh, but it's okay, Ben. It's just a slight problem. It's only badly hurt, thank God. We're all right. Then he hit another one. Dead Chorf. My guard Chorf. And I'm like, this is Dark Elves. Seriously, getting beat up by Dark Elves? And he was dead. And it was only guard, but for some bizarre reason, because sometimes I see the dead sign and I think, shit, I better use the Apo. There's been times last season where something bad's happened and I've saved the Apo, and I didn't need it. Apo comes out, and as always, my great Apos does nothing. -1 movement. Well, you might as well have just killed him. I might as well just kept him killed, because a movement 3 Chorf ain't going to be good enough. So he's basically gone. So that's one of my only 3 guard pieces now gone. So my bull's gone, my guard piece is gone, and hey, great. Luckily, we're going to the half. We're 1-0 down. We're winning 1-0 at half time. second half, we somehow, when we were under the pump with not many numbers, we were totally outnumbered. We get it. It's 1-1, and then 10-6. His 10-16. I'd had to move my other new signing to tag his Witch Elf because otherwise it was going to be really hard to at least win the game. Seemed a good plan. Obviously wasn't because his Witch Elf killed my other free agency signing. So my first signing lasted one hit. My other new signing's dead. Gone. Kaput. 100 odd grand gone. And to be fair, I think he was hit maybe 3 times in the full game. The good thing is, though, I did the handoff because, I expected that to fail, but it didn't, and we scored and we won 2-1. So, I won the game, and I got... Oh, and the MVP went to the Data Play Hobbo, so that's just always lovely. The only good news was that the sheriff, who always serves justice, actually got a level up. He only got Mighty Blow, and he rolled double 4. So I do have a claw piece until it dies next week. So that was wonderful. That was like you're gutted because you lost, but you probably didn't lose. Now I won, and I'm probably more gutted than you.
You're basically saying the Dark Elf team killed the contract of the new free agent you signed.
Yeah, basically. But this happened all last season. I got beat to the living daylights about everything. So I've only got 4 Chorfs. I bought another brand new one and called him Do Your Job. And I bought a new Hobgoblin as well. He's gone as well now. So every signing I made just went. So I've got 10 players now and only 50k cash. So so anyone else who's thinking I'm on a bad week in this division, if you've had it worse than me, then damn.
Well, at least I didn't have any injuries. I didn't lose the game, but hey, okay.
Yeah. There you go. That's to make you feel better.
It makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah. Anyway, enough of my self-wallowing. Let's get on to what happened this week in Division 3A. And the big one, Gorka-Seidel Tendencies versus my brothers M. Bond. I thought these two would be the top 3. I know I've said that. And the Orcs got it done. I tipped the Cambry because I said they'd finish top. But it's not a big surprise. Not many Ambricks, 10 against 6. Was there any level ups or injuries to report?
Think we did it. Think we would take a look at that when we look at the teams individually, right? But that's how we used to do it. But
I know. I'm getting old. What can I say?
Yeah. I know, buddy. But if you look at the game itself, if you look at the game itself, I think the surprising thing is, there hasn't been a lot of permanent injuries or anything else like that on both teams, and they kind of played it. They're both armor 9, of course, on some areas. At least the Camry are on some areas, but I kind of expected more removals in general. So this is quite an interesting game by itself because, for 2 best teams, there's not much damage being done at all.
Yeah, I mean, they both threw 46 blocks as well. What was interesting, that's always fun to watch. The Orcs basically, 50% ball possession. They basically ran the show by the sounds of it. And they got 4 inches as well, so it was good. I mean, they are hitting AV7 as well, so they're not obviously all AV9. And I said, they got it done.
Yeah, exactly. But if you look purely at the best factor of it, it looked like a fairly balanced game. So it's quite interesting that the Orcs got a win out of that one, basically. Maybe their defense was a little bit better there. I didn't watch the game by itself, but it's good for Zunk at least.
Yeah, I think Zunk will be happy. I mean, he got a lot of nice XP as well from that game. All nicely spread around, was always good. A little bit for Kemry as well. But that's a big win early in the season because I personally myself, I mean, God forbid I could be wrong. I think these 2 teams will be up there, and I think it's a good win for Zunk there.
And no, like I said, no permanent injuries, no deaths, so they're both happy that they finished the first game undamaged, basically. So that's good. There's anything I can say about it, really.
Yeah. Right then, let's go on to. Let's have a look. The next game, the Boondock Skinks versus Dark Angels of Lilith. 2-0 to the Dark Angels. Not many armor breaks in this. 5 against 4. So hey, that's not bad.
Which you kind of expect, like if you have a game like this where there's a big agility team and more of a hybrid team. I kind of call Lisbon a bit of a hybrid team because they're not really agile, they're not really bashy, they're sort of in between there. When you have this and not a lot of armor breaks are happening, you have a good chance that the agility team gets away with the win with it. So yeah, that's not totally unexpected.
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't many armor breaks, but I mean, obviously we'll talk into it when we go to the teams. But both teams inflicted a kill, and there's another 3 injuries on top of that. So we'll have to see if it's a key player they've lost. But I mean, sometimes it can be deceptive, can the possessions and all that. But looking at this, it looks like Dark Angels had the way with the Boomerdog Skinks pretty well.
Definitely. Funny thing is, like, if they broke armor, they broke it really good. Like, there's no stunts in there or anything. So that's quite interesting in itself.
Yeah, again, the darts all did well again. There's a lot of XP there for them, and they'll be loving that.
Yeah, definitely. Like if you lose a player, it's never good to lose a player, of course. But if you lose a player and you get this kind of experience back for it, it's kind of fine. It's a bit of a band-aid on the wound then. So it's good. Yeah. Anything you want to say about this still?
Not really. I mean, I'm interested to see what the carnage was regarding the teams. But again, 2-0 win, very dominant win by looks as well. So well done to the Dark Angels. Obviously, the Lizards, they'll just brush themselves down and come back again next week. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But like I say, it's early in the season. Like I say, we don't know many of these, and we'll have to see how it goes. Now, the interesting result for me was Jungler beating the Pirates of the World's End. Amazon beating Chorfs 2-0.
Ooh. Yeah, I didn't really pay attention to this one.
It was the last game to be played, I think, or one of the last games to be played.
It's really interesting to see a win like this because you don't see Amazon getting away versus tackle that often.
But the Amazon, they had 55 blocks against 35 of the Chorfs. They
were
dominated the possession, they dominated the blocks, plenty of KOs, not plenty of injuries. Ironically, the only kill was from the Chorfs, so well played Chorfs. But this looks like a dominant thing. And like I said to you, when I saw the way this Amazon team was built and just everything about him, it really struck to me. This guy knows. I'm going to call him a guy unless there's anything else. This guy knows what he's doing. And it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me as much. I can feel the pain for my Chorf friend, but hey, it is what it is. It's still early days. Yeah, that was a bit of a beating, wasn't it?
Yeah, and like the Amazons got to be really happy about this because like they played their first match versus one of the teams that could really damage them.
Yeah,
and they get away with it like perfectly. So this is really good for them.
And I can totally sympathise. I mean, the times, I think when I played last season, I ran into a lot of AV9 teams early doors, and I struggled to get any injuries. And then you come in against juicy AV7, and like, at least whatever happens, even if I lose, I should be able to get some XP, some injuries, and all that stuff. And it just doesn't happen. And it's so annoying because AV7, it should break, and it seems to not. But yeah, I mean, look, the Amazons, they can love that. 5 for Tinkerbell, 3 for Sleeping Beauty, any Norm, and Rapunzel, and Cinderella. They all got involved in it. So, if you're Amazon, you're really happy. You've beaten the Chorfs, and there's no other Chorfs in the division. You're happy. You're delighted.
No, I have to say, like, we will look at it later, but in this, I did notice one thing. One of the players that leveled up, it also died from the Amazons. So, like, we'll take a look at it a little bit later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's one death there as well. So they didn't go totally undamaged, but still, like, if you have this situation where you're playing Chorfs or that kind of thing as Amazons, you're always a bit nervous about the whole thing collapsing. I imagine. So yeah, that didn't happen, and he just won 2-0, which is something. Yeah, he can be really happy about, I think.
Yeah. This game, the big cups, the dwarfs against dark elves. Dwarfs 21 armor breaks. I think I should send my chorfs to come and watch these guys. 21 armor breaks, 2 armor breaks. But you know what? Then I'm really impressed for that. And then I'm thinking, oh god, that's really good. And then when I overlook, only 6 KOs, 1 injury. Only 1 injury in 21 armor breaks. That is the contract killers numbers, definitely. 44 blocks, so it's still 21, almost 50% armor breaks. That's bloody good. He would have liked a few more injuries, obviously. The Chakra Changelings, I think, was this the team you tipped on? One of the teams you were sweet on because it has all those ridiculous stats, isn't it? But unfortunately, they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, I think it was.
They both got decent enough alright XP for both. I think you found the dwarfs. I'm happy I've won, but I'd have liked a few more injuries. If I'm breaking 21 times, I expect a couple more injuries or deaths on there. But it wasn't to be. He gets the win, though, against the power-packed roster, the Dark Elves side. I'd be happy with that.
I kind of think, I kind of want to think, or think at least, that the Dark Elves, well, they got a lot of KOs sustained at least, so they had a lot of KOs in their box. I think that a lot of them just stayed asleep for the rest of the match, because like if you look at the amount of blocks, and because the amount of blocks is still like fairly low. I don't think they had a good time with the KO rules, basically.
No, I agree. But like I said, it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's what can you do? But if you're the dwarfs, you're happy with that. But if I'm the Dark Elves, I'm thinking, you know what? All right, dwarfs aren't the greatest matchup for us if things go wrong. I've got such a great team, we can turn this around. My only worry, if I'm Dark Elves, is that Hunter picked me. So you're on the negative, and he's obviously cursed you.
Do you notice? Do you notice one more thing, by the way, in the stats? Like 6 passes, 6 successful catches. So the Dark Elves really have been grinding this game on the SPP.
Really?
6 passes. 6
I wonder if he did that on Gawain Volume 2. We'll have to have a look, because that's crazy if he was passing it to him for 6. I mean, it's great, because that's the way you level up. And like I say, what people sort of miss a bit in all this let's win at all costs sort of routine is like, at the end of the day, it's a progression league where you're trying to build up, and you don't want to get to the top too early and then have your team smashed. So that's really good.
Well, we on the other side, like we have had this debate before on the other season as well. Like if you do this at the start of the season, I kind of feel you should aim for the win. Like if you have absolutely not a chance to get into the playoffs, then I think you should definitely try to get some levels in. Of course, try to win the game as well for the honor, but that's something different. But this early on, like if you do it already, I don't know. There could be some negative effects to it. Like he might drop the ball one time or anything. He does get all the catches successfully, so that's fine. But it could lead up into situations where you actually lose the game where you shouldn't have, if you know what I mean.
It's a fine balance. It's a fine balance. Because like I said, if I didn't go for the win in my first week, I'd still have an alive free agency Chorf. The only reason he's dead is because I went for the win. So it's a funny one, isn't it? It's a funny one. Yeah. I applaud what he's done, because he's probably thinking that it's going to be hard to get XP, so you know what, Dwarfs slow, they'll be quite happy to stand back. I'll just keep passing, get loads of level ups, and I'll get some XP that way. So it's, I don't know, I agree with what you're saying, but I think it's still a smart play what he's done. It's a good job he did do it, really, because at the end of the day he lost, so it's probably the right call in the end. But we'd have to see what we'd have to have seen the game. I mean, obviously, as the weeks go by and we have more time, we will be looking at these games in more depth, so then we can talk about them a bit more. Just been really busy at the moment with obviously the cross-platform going on, me at work a lot. How dare they make me work in real life? But yes, anyway, good win for him. Now then, the guy who we do know, Fairy Harem, got it done in a right rip-roaring game, 3-2.
Yeah, and that makes me happy, of course.
The thing is, though, 27 armor breaks was the first thing I noticed here from the Undead, right? So I'm thinking, wow, the Skaven must have got smashed hard. They must have lost something. And
63 blocks.
Yeah.
As well.
How do you give 63 blocks away with rats? I have no idea. If you do this, then you're asking for trouble.
No. You say this now, but you have to check some of my games then, because I consistently give away about 60 blocks in a game.
Wow. Well, I think that's way
Um,
too many. I think that's like.
it's it's something you do, like you have to think about, like we're not elves here. It's like the Skaven are not elves in general, so you're not playing with an all around edgy 4 team,
Yeah.
which is making dodging and that kind of thing already harder as it is.
Yeah.
And that also means that you kind of need some openings in the opposition's positioning, basically, to get to the bulk area in a lot of situations. So you kind of gotta base the correct players from the opponent a little bit, and you kind of gotta put some amount of pressure on the opponent to make sure that you get you get the job done and you can steal the ball or something. Um, that's something that's not that easily done. So you have to kind of pay in some way with it. And this is one of the ways, just paying by getting your head smashed in with part of the team.
Well, unless I've looked at it wrong, and I hate using this word, but I think Fairy Harem got lucky again in that when I briefly looked at the team, even though he had 63 blocks thrown against him, 4 Ks, 5 injuries, I think his team came through unscathed. I mean, obviously, you will clarify that.
I had this game on my radar, so I did take a look at this game a little bit.
Right.
And they started off with a blitz.
The Rats.
So yeah, the Reds. So
nice.
they immediately got a lot of pressure on the opponent, and then managed to score out of that. And I think they got a 2-0 lead, or maybe even a 3-0 lead.
Yeah.
Before the undead could eventually recover and score back. And the scores happened. The last few scores happened really late in the game.
Yeah.
So like that, there was no chance for getting a draw or anything like that. So I
Yeah.
can imagine it going 3-2 in the end.
Yeah, I mean, Debs, he's the 110 if I remember correctly. He got 10 points, all good there. I'm guessing that is the.
But this you got to remember, this is what Skaven do. This is typically what Skaven do. Like if they get their head smash in and make sure they get the scores in quickly, they get a lot of pressure on the opponent, get the scores early, and just make sure that they get a big lead before they collapse during the match, And this is a typical Skaven win. This is one example where you can see that.
I mean, the Undead lost a game, but hey, look at the XP they got. I mean, that is an amazing amount of XP. They got 22 XP out of that. So, you know, that is a lovely amount to go forward. Obviously, Fairy Harem's coach is a very good coach as well. So, you know, he may be one of the better coaches in the division. So there's no disgrace there. So for the Undead, really, you lost the game, but come on, that's a lot of XP.
But also for Fairy Harem, like there's no permanence there. So
so he's delighted.
He's totally delighted about this one. Like this is perfect if you're playing Skaven. So both teams got something good out of this. Although Skaven got the result here, of course. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these teams can manage to develop during the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll see 2 contenders as well here for the top places.
Well, the Rats, like I said, we know how good he is. The only thing I thought with him this season is how many injuries he's going to take. But at the moment, they're not getting. If they get injured, it's just like a badly hurt, isn't it?
Yeah.
So at the moment, he's very fortunate because he didn't really get anything bad their season, and obviously it's only week 1, but he's got away letting all them blocks hit him, all them armor breaks, and he's come out unscathed. So while that's happening, he's going to be.
And even like we did also talk about him having a really deep bank. So even if he loses some players, like if he loses some linemen, as a Skaven coach, you kind of love when you lose some linemen a little bit, because they're only like 50k. Like they're so dispensable, they're so replaceable, and that's the big difference between the more expensive dark elves and the more the more high elves and that kind of thing, the more expensive elf versions. And the Skaven team here, they're just quite replaceable players, and that's something that's quite enjoyable. You know, you
Yeah.
got a high-paced team, you got an agile team, and a very cheap team, and that's the big upside from Skaven, basically.
Right.
I could talk about it for hours, but we'll just skip that.
I don't know. Anyway, right, I've got while you've been talking about obviously the rats and that, I've now got on video the game between the Brett and the Nagel, and what we basically do each week is we'll pick a game, and just show a few snippets of things what went on. Now, I'll be honest, I've been extremely busy this week, so I didn't get time to have a look at any, but good old Hunter got to see this, and there's a few things he wanted to pick out on here, what he wanted to show. What he was impressed with. So I've got the game on. It's 10-1.
I'm booting mine up.
They've just kicked the ball. And it's an extra reroll each. So
both coaches happy about that, I can imagine. What I kind of want to talk about here is like these teams like Nurgle normally aren't are more of a Bashier team than Bretonnians are. Bretonnians are kind of a little bit of a hybrid team, but with all the agility ups on the Nurgle team and the movement up there, it becomes a more hybrid kind of team, right? If you look at the plus agility and the two-headed guys there, and another plus agility and the movement, it's a lot of agility based level ups there. So it was an interesting game by itself. If you look at turn 1, I think the bull just, or the Pestigor just picks it up, and you see that they get into a position where they kind of leave their left flank open. Like I'm looking from the Bretonnians point of view, so this is the right side for me.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Bretonnians.
Yeah, Bretonnians kind of.
I've just seen obviously the beast do what most beasts do when I use them, is go stupid first turn. Double skulls didn't help straight away. Not too keen where the agility 4 Pestigor is, especially now the other one's gone stupid. But you know.
But if you look at it as well, like where the Pestigor is, like you said, and he's leaving his wing open, and you can see the last block ties he makes. He just follows up with the rotter there, and I think that's a little bit of a costly thing, because you need all the movements you can get for leaving a flank open like this. On the other hand, both players that are in the back have a two heads thing, so they can just dodge out. But if you roll a 1 there during the dodge, it costs you a reroll basically, and you don't want to spend a reroll on that. So I would have liked it if he covered his flank a little bit more, if that makes any sense. Because what you see now is the Bretonnians doing the right play and rushing in here. Like they removed the 2 players that were obstructing the whole thing, and they just dash in here and
failed GFI.
Yeah.
It's never a good thing, is it? It's amazing how many times we see failed GFIs in this game. You know, I mean about in Blood Bowl all over. But, you see, so you're basically liking what the Bretts are doing here.
Yeah, the Bretonnians here are already putting us.
See, you know what? I'm going to pause it there. Right, okay. So, I've not seen this game, so apart from I know the result, I don't know what goes on. You like what the Bretts have done. I don't like what the Bretts have done. How bizarre is that? Right, so I agree what you're saying about the flank, and they've pushed them through, right? The problem we've got here is we've got an agility 4 guy with 2 heads on the ball with extra movement.
Yeah.
Right? There's an agility 4. There's an agility 4 Pestigor right next to the beast, all alone saying, just give me the ball. And he's got enough Nagel here to smash the Brett's left side and go down the left side, leaving a lot of the Bretonnians totally out of place, and put himself in a massively good position.
Well, that's one part of it. I
haven't seen the game, but to me, if I'm the Nagel here, I'm like, oh, this is alright. Pretty dandy, this. As long as I don't roll my ones, and I can hand off to another agility 4 piece, we're in here, lads. We're in.
But that's what you're already saying. Like, he has to roll avoid some ones. and there's no alter reroll in both the dodge, the handoff, and that kind of thing. I feel like the player in the back there, the Bretonian player, is still with the sidestep, the tackle, and the plus agility there, and the dodge, still is kind of the backbone of the defense there, because he has 7 movement. He can still go to the side there if anything. If he does this play, he relies a lot on making everything work. If he feels anything of that, it's a complete ball loss, and with the the Beast of Nurgle still needs to be activated, of course. But if he feels that kind of thing, like if it's gonna be hard to recover from this kind of team. So he does the, as you can see, he does the safe play.
Right.
And
Well, I'm
he
going to
goes
press
for
play now because I just paused it there.
So what he could have done, you're absolutely right. He could have done the agility play, and he could have gone for it and go weld on it. But it also would lead to him having to score early, which is something you generally don't want in a Blood Bowl match, right? You don't want to score early. You want to score as late as
but
possible.
it wouldn't have. I don't think he would have had to score that early. He could have just reinforced down there and got it done. Instead, he's gone for the other option, what is basically blitz with a ball carrier. Well, that's fine because you've got the extra movement, so why not? And put himself in the safest option as a cage. What again? It's what a lot of coaches would do. I like that he dodged away from the sidestep and didn't make an attempt to knock that guy down because I'd have gone to his cage. I thought possibly he could have put his beast down one just to tie up another piece, but
yeah, he should have been a little bit more active with the Beast of Nurgle. Absolutely. Like if he I think that the Beast of Nurgle generally is just one big roadblock, so he just needs to base something with it.
Yeah.
So
it's still basing 2 peasants down, but
Yeah, of course, but the more the merrier. Like if he can put a third one in, of course, get it in. But we are already at turn 2 here, and you see the Nurgle creating a nice box. You see box, at least. You see the Bretonians moving back a little bit.
Yeah. Get a nice reposition.
Just taking some defense and getting some nice repositioning there. So you see the thing reset itself, and the Bretonians are just awaiting what the Nurgle do. There's nothing really special about this turn in general.
No.
But you can already see some things moving up as the Bretonians wanting to play solidly and just focusing on the opponent from not scoring instead of trying to do anything well and trying to steal or anything. They're just saying like, okay, let's reposition, let's just make it slow.
I've got down here you wanted to go to 10-4. Is that Nagel's 10-4 or Bretonian's 10-4?
I'll take a really quick gander if you don't mind.
Sorry. Double skulls again. I'm just on the Bretonians 10-3 at the moment.
Turn three of the Bretonians. There's also a little bit. We will take a look at turn 3 of the Bretonians where you are right now.
Yep.
If you look at the positioning there already a little bit, you can already see some signs of what I wanted to talk about, because this is the absolute strength of Bretonians. If you look at how things are slowly getting boxed in, how the Nurgle are slowly getting caged in beside their own cage. It's already getting quite hard to get out and get through. We will see the total result of that on turn 4, I think. But you already see a little bit of it forming, like the whole thing, and I think Papillion did that beautifully here. Like he built up towards it. Of course, you need a little bit of help from your opponent. Just squeezing in themselves a little bit with a tight box.
Oh god, he went for that bloody peasant, didn't he? Reroll didn't get him down. That really stops the drive right there. If he could have got him down, he possibly could have done something there. Unfortunately, typical the one he wanted. Well, that's a scary block with a beast.
I think here I don't know where you are at the moment, but I'm looking at the turn 4 start of the Bretonians here. I think here's the whole thing where it happens.
I'm a bit. Well, he's basically based. that guard stand firm wrestle piece.
Yeah.
The only thing I question about that is he actually put 2 rotters on that sidestep blitzer when he could have just left with 1. It could have then with the learner could have actually fouled that wrestle guard piece on the floor. But I'm now on turn 4 of the Bretts.
Turn for the Bretts, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got a Nagel worried down at the moment. And he's basically just closing in, isn't he? He's picking his fights.
And here you can see the absolute strength coming up from the whole fend and stand firm. Like the stand firm on the blockers is such a huge thing as well here with the guard. Because what you see now is like the Nurgle getting totally surrounded. Like there's so much pressure going on. And I don't see a way out for the Nurgle that's safe or anything. So it's already becoming a really hard game for Edmund and at this point. And I kind of wanted to point this whole thing out and
yeah, I mean this is why personally myself and everyone plays differently, and I through experience I know playing a lot on Nurgle that we're so slow and this can happen to us. We're hoping for the removals to make it a lot easier, and when the Brett's in my opinion, just slightly overcommitted. There was a great chance to hand off to the agility 4 piece, go right down the other side, get some really good traction, and they would have been out of position, and they would have took at least a turn or so to scramble. By then, you're already down here near the bottom, and then you've got the strength to be able to say, you know what, I don't really have to do much apart from punch, and then later on, then I go for the TD. But like you said, he didn't do that, and obviously now we've got this, and then it's typical.
You see total lockdown, right? You see the blockers not really moving, even if he gets them down. They're not moving away from their position.
Oh, that's awful. Oh,
you see the fence is gonna fence.
Oh, that blitz deserved better. Didn't get it re-rolled to dub skulls, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And to be honest, here I'm thinking, you see, the stand firm is beautiful because that really does mess it up. Oh, I don't know if I'd done that. Don't know if he gets a KO for it. I don't know if I was keen on the agility 4 thing, but again, it's where he's positioned all of his players that he's thought, you know what, I'm going to have to do that. So then I'll go around the back and try and protect it that way. What he's going to do. So this is good.
This is where the beast of the Nurgle team kind of get a little bit of pressure after the double skull, like you said.
Yeah. But again, they're not really going anywhere, are they? That's it's 10-6, and all they've done is go sideways. And that's probably the best he could do. So he's probably done the right thing. But
can you imagine how frustrating this kind of game must have been for the Nurgle team? Like they are the best team, or they are normally the more bestier team in this story, but they took the agility options in there, and you can see that the Bretonnians have the right amount of skills and the right amount of skill set to just annoy them so badly. I think
Dauntless is so good, and obviously if you've got a piece of guard in there, then he's perfect. So, and he knocks another one down. Lord Black Death goes down. It's a KO, but obviously because he reformed next to another piece, they're going to get another shot on the ball. If you want to.
That's the thing. That's the whole thing. He doesn't really necessarily have to go for a full out ball carrier attack. He can just keep applying that pressure that he applied. And
you say that. I think he's giving it. Oh, I would have gone for the ball because
of course he could do that.
Look at the gap down the right. I don't know. I think I would have. I don't know. I think
we'll look at the later turn here, because this is turn 6 from where I'm at.
I'm on 10-7. I'm 10-7 on the Nurgle. But I mean, this is the thing about Blood Bowl. We're both debating this game. You're going, oh, I really like that. I'm saying I didn't like that. You were like, what happened in turn 1? I disliked. And this is the thing about Blood Bowl. It's so everyone has their own way of doing it. Beast finally does something.
Of course, it's a bit subjective, but that's what what makes a game beautiful. Of course, everyone has their own way of approaching it, and it's kind of interesting to see. But I kind of wanted to pick out this game because normally, like I said, normally we pick the big flashy plays and the big Skaven versus bashy teams and that kind of thing. I kind of wanted to show the whole positional development here, and you can see that the Nurgle
nice.
here have been struggling all game, all half basically, to get through. And even when they put the side cage up here, they're not getting anywhere because look at the defense from the Bretonians. Like it's
this
sheer
is
insanity
very,
out of it.
very good. He's recovered that well. And obviously he's got the guard in the right place as well. Beautiful.
I would have been like if I would have been the Nurgle coach, I would have been so frustrated about how to get through even. Like
it is in a way because you've basically been outbashed most of the half. You've been harassed most of the half, and then you get through to this flank and think, finally, I may get the TD, and then he does this and just shuts you completely down. The guard's in the perfect position. You know, anything you're going to do now is going to be a crazy play to score. This is brilliant.
This is the funny thing about this game, particularly. Like normally you get outbashed and then you get a disadvantaged position. This game is different because he already got the disadvantaged positionally before he got outbashed. And
the great thing to point out here as well is that he's got this blitzer in scoring range. So he's basically saying, you know what, if you want to try something crazy, Mr. Nagel, and you fail, there's a good chance I'll get the ball and score 1-0. So obviously the Nagel said, you know what, the chances of me being able to score is minimal, so I better do the smart move and play it safe. And he gets himself caged up, and that's probably the best thing he can do. But that is smart play from obviously the Bretts. I mean, I was told via Discord, someone on YouTube, someone said, hey, don't sleep on the Bretts. This guy's very, very good. And they said they expect him to be up there. So, you know. And I basically said, look, I don't really know many of these players, so hopefully he'll do well, because anyone who knows me, I love Bretts.
How often do you see, by the way, just you're saying like, okay, the Nurgles have to play it safe. How often do you see that a coach actually forfeits their scoring chance in a game to play it safe? It's something you don't see often.
Ant-Man just respected the great play from that turn, wasn't it? I mean,
yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a great play from the Bretonians, and if you drive your opponent that far to forfeit their score, it's huge. It's a real sign that something went on in that half.
Yeah.
And that's something I wanted to point out. Like the rest of the game, you can see the Bretonians even strengthening their control even more and just getting that turn 16 score in. It isn't that interesting to follow the rest of the second half for that. So I kind of just wanted to look at this half.
The good thing is like guard assisted by Dauntless is a very potent sort of thing. And obviously Fenn's good to screen off and things like Stand Firm and stuff like that. I was really, really impressed. I think, you know, every time the Nagel tried to get safe, there was actually base in a prone.
You got to remember, like everyone is normally shitting on Bretonians, like okay, it's not a good team, that kind of thing. This is the other side of it, and I kind of enjoyed seeing the other side of it, like this, and it kind of makes me motivate myself to play Bretonians in the CCL, for example, at some point. So I'm definitely gonna.
They are. Like I said, they are good. I mean, I got to the Champions Ladder final with a 6-game Bretts, so they are. Yeah, I got beat in the final on throwing from the crowd in overtime. But you know, but no, they are very, very good. And I was impressed, and like I said, the people said he's good, and you know, I'm really impressed. I felt for the Nagel in a way because I was thinking, yes, I could go down the side, it'll be all right, and then he just came and went, nope. He's probably nope. He sort of like dared him to go down the side. To be honest, I would have done the same. I would have took the bet. I'd have been like, yeah. But to be fair, that's the only option Nagel really had to do, and he took it. And Brett's just, you know, brilliant player.
You rarely hear me say this because I'm generally like a wild kind of player. Like when I play Skaven, I always play like with high risk and always going for the ball immediately. That kind of thing, you know, like a lot of pressure on the opponent. But this is the other side of it. Like he played it so maturely. Like the Bretonian coach played his defense so maturely. It's wonderful to see. It's yeah, I kind of want to give him a big compliment on that. And there's nothing I think the Nurgle team could have done differently on it. Like there are some little things, of course. Like you could have done the direct play, like you said, but you can't really predict this kind of thing happening to you, can you? Like if you look at the whole half as it is, I don't know. I can't think like Endman thought like, okay, he's gonna close me down. I have to play this quickly. It's something that happens to you at some point there.
Yeah, I think the thing with Nagel, like I say, I've played Nagel a lot. Is you have it in your head that you've got to ground and you've got to ground and you've got to ground, and that's right, I get that. But sometimes you've got to look who you're playing against and stand firm, wrestle, fend. They've all got things to slow you down. Now,
Yeah.
he could play them tactics again, and the Nagel dice could get the Kazes, and then he'll work, and the Nagel will score. But, that Nagel team's not the scariest. I don't think had any claw at all, so he's building up with all the agility. What's a good thing to do? You've just got to take a split decision of what you want to do, and sometimes you've got to do stuff what is un-Nagel. And to me, if you're investing in 2 agility 4 pieces, you had a great player there to swing out, pass the agility 4 piece, get right down and say, that'll teach you for going down that flank and get down. And you could have thinking, now he could have rolled 1-1 or whatever, and then he's in trouble. But you know what? As I've said before, you can't be scared of rolling dice when it's a 2+. You'll fail some, but majority of the time you'll pass it. And I think that was the only chance he had. After what he did do wasn't terrible. He got the ball safe, but the greatest fear was if you don't get the armor rolls and you don't get the removals, then the way the Bretts played, it was a problem, wasn't it? It was a slow death, and then he got lucky with the push and then double skull, so the Nagel had that chance. And even when they had that chance, they still couldn't get it through. All they could do was move it sideways, what shows how well positioned the Bretts were. And like I said, yeah, it's good we saw that. The Bretts played extremely well. The Nagel, bless their consocks, was getting outbashed. There's not much you could have done. The only thing I think he could have done was, like I said, was try the agility 4 handoff. And go from there. But yeah, there you go. So there you go. That's basically what we do. We pick a game out and we have a look at a few of the things. We're not trying to have a go at anybody or be negative. We make mistakes all the time. Obviously, Hunter said himself he had a mare this week. But we just think when we did it last season, we had a lot of positive feedbacks on this sort of stuff. So we just like to pick little things out. Yeah. What sad games.
We're just being honest about it, like if we look at some of the games and we think you did a good job, we'll just tell you like, okay, you did a good job there. And if you think like, okay, you could have done this and this and this better, we'll just tell you like, okay, you could have done this differently or this differently. And that's the kind of thing. Like we kind of want to take a look at those games and see, how the people are performing in our division. We're interested in those games, and we kind of want to show some love to it,
Yeah. Anyway, last game of the week. It was them Toad Dwarfs with no AV. Could they get themselves back onto winning ways? They played the Crusaders on Caledor, and by Jove, they bloody well did. 2-0 win for the Norse. Happy days for the Norse. Sad days for the Elves, and I think I'll tip the Elves.
Days for the Elves.
And but look at the Dwarfs. Not Dwarfs, Norse obviously, but look at the Tall Dwarfs. 9 injuries, 2 kills. Wow, they brought the pain. And he only did 29 blocks as well. I feel for the Elves who said, you know what, we're going to give them 29 blocks and they rip the team up.
This is exactly what I said last, in the pre-cap at least. Like, this was the Elf team, I think, that was with a lot of niggled players and with a lot of minus armor players. Like, if it's going to collapse, it's going to collapse quite hard. And you can already see like the fractures happening in there. So like, I'm not.
You're not
really
surprised. No, I mean look at the XP for the Tall Dwarfs and OV. Oh my word, that is beautiful. That's 29 XP. What a great week. If Carlsberg did Blood Bowl weeks, this would be it. I mean, obviously I didn't see the game, but the Norse just absolutely smashed them all over the place. They controlled the game with 68 possession. To be fair to the High Elves, he only gave away 29 blocks, what is amazing. I feel your pain. You don't give him any blocks and you still get your team smashed. But as Hunter did say, when you're carrying things like Niggles and Manuses and all this shit, it can catch up with it. Unfortunately, for the Elves, it got up week 1. So, hey-ho. So, we're now going to go have a look at the leaderboard. Very early days, but Deadman's Norse. Dare I say, they're the big winners of the week. Probably shouldn't have said that, because last time I said that, he never won another game. But them and the Amazons probably a big winner as well. They beat the Chorf, so that's a huge good start for them. Zunk, I thought, was really good. Really impressed with the way the Bretts played. And obviously, Fairy Harem and Keith Carr, they do what they do best. Throw Kosher to win, get it done, and they don't get hurt. You know, they never do. Someone needs to hurt some of them rats. If my Chorfs can die, the bloody rats should die.
There's absolutely no draws in there whatsoever, is there?
I was going to say that. How bizarre we had not one draw this week. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that. Since
it's something that you don't see often, at least. And the ones that won their game also didn't really get their players damaged and everything is fine. So like you can already see like some big shifts in movement, like they're already like getting quite happy with their results, and it's something we'll have to watch in the next few weeks. What teams will be the last one to survive, basically, because like now they win the first week and they do it another week as well, and the week after that as well. It's going to be quite exciting to see.
It is. So there we go. Right, let's look at the team. Let's see the carnage then after week 1. Ant-Man, Flylord 7s. Any injuries or level ups or anything like that?
I gotta go through this. Let me see. I always gotta check it by match instead of by who's on top of the list. So for me, it's going through a lot of shit here too. I don't think anything special happened there.
No level ups or nothing.
Nothing.
So he lost the game, but he didn't. You know, he's only got 10 players. I can't remember if he only had 10 players last time though. But you know, not much to say then, really, is there? I mean, you know, he's got his 2 agility pieces. I think it's going to be. He's going to struggle. I mean, I know you was quite sweet on this team. I think this team will struggle a bit because they just don't have the firepower yet, and they just had one of those days where unfortunately they just got beat up by a team.
Well,
you know,
like we were looking at week 1 and we immediately see a team that can handle itself well if the other team is a little bit less bashier and so
I mean he's only 1 point off getting that Nagel Warrior Claw if he wants it.
But like they already had it. I don't think you'll see the kind of team that they had to face quite often in this division. So I think they'll be fine in general. It's something that happens now. And now they can look at the rest of the season.
I mean, like I said, it's still an early team. So Nagel, renowned for being the worst team to start off with. So this season, if I'm Ant-Man, you know, it's all about team development. I'm not really. I mean, obviously, if you can win, great. But you know, let's not kid ourselves. This is all about developing. And like I say, Ant-Man will get a lot of fun out of this team if we can keep him healthy. And in a season or two, when they've got a bit more claw and a bit more development and a bit more guard and everything else, then that's when all this hard work now will come off. So you know,
touch on the like I said, touch on the plus movement plus agility Pestigor would be huge if he gets a double there. But that's 92
that's
SPP
a
away.
long way away, isn't it?
Yeah, that's gonna take a while.
Right, let's go to your good old Norse friend Deadman78. Todd Dwarfs with no AV. The good old Ulfwerner is still there. He's got 180k. Will he get rid of him? I don't think he will. Right, any skill ups? Must have been some skill ups. Must have been some changes. I mean,
with that amount of SP would expect that. Number 10.
Yeah.
Number 10 leveled up. Einstein the Drunk.
Tackle. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Darwin tackle.
Yeah, it kind of helps in the format where you kind of wants to stop the more agility based teams. So. I think it probably kind of worked with the opponent he was facing, the high elves he was facing last game as well. So it's something that he can do, and it's gonna help versus Amazon as well, and the other well, faster agility teams like Skaven. So it's a fine pick.
Yeah, yeah.
Got no problem with it. Only problem I have is still the number 3 still being there. Like we're gonna say it every week, right? Like every week he's there. We're gonna just mention that number 3 out and say like, why does he keep him there?
I think he, like I said, he was on the GMA Discord yesterday, and he wanted to know who was doing his recap and all that. And he'd obviously missed out a recap. Hey, look, here's your recap. So I pasted obviously the video of the preview. So and I did, we did say in there, hopefully he'll give us a reason why he's kept him, because it is unusual. Strength or peace, loses strength. That isn't automatically, usually you'd say that you get rid of him. I mean, I can appreciate he's another friend of peace. He's got blocks, he's got guard, but that's what he got 2 berserkers for. Both berserkers are obviously leveled up quite well. 1 point needed for Dora, and the other one, Vicfus Free, or whatever you want to call him. He's only 6 off. Team's developing nicely. I like the choice of diving tackle on that runner. Was there any other level ups or losses in this team?
No, that's the only one that I noticed is like number 10. So that's the only thing. Nothing special.
Good week.
That.
Good week for the dead man. Talking about a good week here, let's have a look at the bad week, because they played Crusaders of Caldo, got absolutely mullered. But what? It looked bad, but maybe it wasn't as bad as it looked. Maybe he didn't lose anybody. Maybe he didn't get any injuries. Did he get any injuries?
Yeah, he got 2 deaths, of course. What we stated already, the 2 deaths on the 2 players. Number 6, Garnon Mandarina. No, number 6 leveled up. Garnon Mandarina leveled up.
Got leap.
And number 3 and number 13 died. And one of those players was one was very developed with leader and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he lost that one, and that's kind of used to lose at the start of the season, but because now you have to finish the rest of the season with a reroll less and a lot of other stuff that he had as well, because it was next to that it had tons of stuff. I can check it for you if you give me a quick moment and you.
Yeah, I mean, you did say, didn't you? I mean, with all these niggles, that was going to be the thingy. I quite like the leap option on number 6 to a certain extent, because he's strength 4, so a lot of times he's going to get 2 dice. He's agility 5, so he's leaping into a cage on a 2+. The problem is he hasn't got any ball stacking abilities like wrestle, tackle, strip ball. That would be the only problem. And then you're bouncing into a cage, and there's a good chance you guys are gonna die.
The player I'm referring to had leader plus agility, accurate, and dodge. So it was a very developed player. 72 SPP, poof, gone.
I feel your pain, buddy. I feel your pain.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, I don't want to be all negative about it, but this is what you might see in the rest of the season as well. And that's gonna be hard to see, of course, as if you're playing the. You
could say that, but team. This NOS team has got a lot of killy tools. Not everyone's got all these killy tools. They may get away with it, and we always have these games where this could happen. But I appreciate what you're saying. Is this team's pretty much bashed up, and it'd be interesting to see what happens to number 6 how much he leaps in, or is he using leap just to leap over with the ball and scoring easy? It'll be interesting what he does, because if he keeps dive caging in. There's a chance that even if he gets a ball loose, he's going to get put on his backside, and if he ain't injured by that, they're going to stamp on him. So that's a slight concern.
It's a high risk, high reward team.
Yeah.
So it's
so you should love that guy.
Yeah, totally. It's nothing negative about the coach, and I understand why he keeps the players. It's only it's something that's bound to happen, and I know he knows that as well.
Good old Space Bounty Hunters. Well, we just seen them have a good time. Did they get any level ups or lose anybody or anything like that?
Let me take a quick look. They became one of my favorites after that game. I have to say. Burst Space Bounty Hunters. Yeah, they have number 4, Shields Luang. And number 6, Albert Eckener II. I'll just call him Albert.
We'll call him Albert. Why not? That sounds a very, very interestingly French name, does it? I don't know, but Albert.
Yeah, Albert.
Shall we just call him Ariel or something? Ariel or
Ariel.
I don't know. We'll think of a French name soon. I don't know.
Anus. Oh, no, I can't say that.
Always you to bring the gutter runner into the chat. I don't know. Annabelle? Could be, you know. Oh, we
Annabelle.
go down there. Annabelle, yeah. Anastasia. Anastasia. I don't freaking know. Anna something. Anyway, Ekin of the second. He got
But he's
guard.
not. He's not to be confused by number 7, Bernie Ein the second.
Oh, I like him. He deserves
Aye,
it.
aye,
He,
yeah.
you know, he's the new guy. He's going to be good as Bernie. He's probably called something like Brian or something, but you know what? We can call him Bernie unless he does rubbish. Then we'll call him Bob. So yeah, the guard's good there. I like the tackle on Giles LeWong. What a name that is. So again, 2 very, very good picks. Love it.
Yeah, and 2 picks that are fitting with what the team wants to do. Like more utility, making sure that the teams that he's facing are getting a rougher time to get out of the lockdown he's making, the lockdown he's creating with what we saw in the last game with the Nurgle. Yeah. So that's something I really like, and just looking forward to see the other games he's playing in as well. Could imagine that if he keeps playing like how he did that versus the Nurgle, that he ends up in the higher parts of the division as well. He like I said, he kind of become one of my favorite coaches by that game. So we'll have to see. We have to see.
Yeah. Right, so now we go on to Gorka's Idle Tendencies. We've got a big win in week 1. Good old Zunk will be happy about that.
Our big boy Zunk.
I know they got a missing next game on one of the linemen, but apart from that, did they lose anybody or did they get anyone leveled
up? They only got an MG for, as far as I know. So that's number 12. So the MG, and that's about it.
Yeah, but again, looking solid, looking really nice. So yeah, not much we can say then. If no one bloody leveled, bloody Orcs ruining it for the rest of us. I'm sure rest of the division will be happy that they're getting level ups. To be fair,
I don't think they got a lot out of the. I think Defco versus the Camry team at least. that's one thing you can say surely. But yeah, that's something you have. You know, if you have that kind of game versus Camry, you can't really expect to make full uses out of all the skills you acquire. So
yeah,
it's all good.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to be disappointed if Wendo's Requiem didn't get a level up anywhere, because they really did cash in, even though they lost. They did get a lot of XP. Did they get any level ups?
Let me take a quick look. I'm just going through my pages here. Number 1, Gordon Smutcher.
Yeah, good old Smutty. Got blocked.
And number 6, Pepe Garza.
Pepe Guaca. Guaca, I know. Beats me. Tackle, yeah. You can see why he's gone tackle there. He's already got a sure hand piece and a strip ball piece. So yeah, I like that he's going to use it beyond the main offensive line and trying to, you know, anything that gets through, he'll try and get the ball loose. Like that a lot.
I kind of looking at the whole composition of the team. Don't you think one of the ghouls should have gone at least wrestle? Like I kind of get you want to keep your ghouls up, but I kind of feel like if you want to get a ball hunter, you don't go block, you just go wrestle instead.
Yeah, I think a lot of times you usually see 2 with block, and then the other 2 are built slightly different. But yeah, I can see maybe number 8 will get that duty. Number 7 will get that duty. But no, that's a fair point, because obviously both your weights have got tackle already, so you know he's gone for a lot of tackle.
Yeah,
but then again, there is a lot of blodge in this division. You know, there's a lot of elves in this division, so that's probably why he's gone tackle.
I mean, but they already they already invested in blocker, so that's kind of the weird thing in it. So. I don't know. Instead of block, just go wrestle there early on, and then just.
Possible. Maybe he don't like him on the floor. Maybe they get stamped on a lot. I don't know. But yeah, I would have at least had one wrestle. I mean, he's got a zombie wrestle, but. And that's bizarre if he's gone wrestle after guard. That doesn't really make any sense at all.
It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that makes no sense to me. Because you want him kept upright, so block would have probably been better on that guy.
Maybe he has a certain reasoning behind it.
Maybe.
Vendor, if you have a comment on it, please let us know, because we would like to find out that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a bit of a mind, something that puts some people to think, at least.
Right. Let's move on then. The big cups, the dwarfs got a big win, 2-1 win in the first week. They're happy as Larry. Did loads of arm breaks, only did 1 injury, didn't get much XP. Did they pinch level up anywhere?
Nothing.
No.
Nothing at all.
Good old dwarfs. Reliable, but boring. Didn't get us anything this week, but a big win for him. Not much we can say apart from, like we said last week, he's all very efficient. Some real nice pieces. Strong Doc Troll, love him to bits. He's going to be really good. And there's not much we can say.
There's 2 Longbeards, 2 Longbeards and a Blitz are close to leveling up on his team.
So
3 Longbeards even. So
there's a lot there now getting close to level up, isn't there?
It's bound to happen next game or the game after that. So we'll see them soon.
You would hope, yeah. Right then, the jungler beats. It is massive, wicked. Now then, the Amazons, they got a huge 2-0 win. Any deaths, losses, injuries, level ups for these guys?
Yeah, there's one player, like I said, there's one player, number 13, that would have leveled up, but it ended up dead.
Was it just a rookie?
It was just a rookie, so it's not something they would worry about that much. It is a little bit annoying, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing you can do about it, is there?
No. Any level ups?
No, like I said, only the dead player.
Just
and
a
that's
dead
it.
player. Oh, bless him. Oh, well, okay. Looking, and there's not really many, in fact, there's no one really close to a level up either, so could be a while before we see a level up here. But like I said, they've got some good skills already, and a very impressive win first week. The Boondock Skinks, what happened to these guys? Any level ups or deaths or anything like that?
Only 1 death. No level ups. So number 10, Bob died, and he already got replaced. I see.
Yeah, poor Bob. Did he have any level ups?
No level ups at all.
Ah, well, screw him.
Screw him next team. No, it's
in well enough to be weeped on. It's the Shicks didn't get any touchdowns, I don't think, did he? In week 1, it was a 2-0 loss, so shame on him. Should have scored. Didn't. Let his team down.
Are you a bit worried about the AV8 Croxigore still? Like, I kind of feel like
you can't get rid of him though, can you? Really, block, stand firm, guard. I take it. I keep it, and pray that I don't get slapped that often. He's got strength 5, should help him.
Just gotta hope he doesn't get an unlucky armor dice roll on him.
Yeah. If that dice has got your name on it, don't matter what army you are. So no level ups at all then, no.
No, nothing at all.
My brother's embalmed. Already the Bernie case working wonders. My tip for the division, lose straight away. Unfortunate first week. It was a tough game for him. Any level ups or any deaths or injuries or?
Number 2 leveled up, Sultan of Swing.
Oh yeah.
Get in. I think it was a MVP level up as well because he has 54 SPP.
Stand firm. Gotta love that.
Yes. Yeah, it's a good addition to an already really strong Camry team, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, he may have lost the game, but he beat Zunkin level ups. So we'll take that.
I would. This is just personal preference, but I would love to see some grab on some Tomb Guardians as well, just to control the direction of the where the opponent is going, and you can kind of squeeze the opponent in between 2 mummies that way, like in between 2 Tomb Guardians, by grabbing him and putting him into a certain direction.
Yeah.
So I kind of would like to see him pick up that, but I can understand him picking up.
It's a good solid pick. Don't worry, Ravers. I've got your back, mate. I like the Stand Firm. I'd have took Stand Firm over Grab, although what Hunter says does make sense. I still like this team. I still love this team. I'm not worried. We've got one of the better teams out the way. Don't worry, Ravers. We've got plenty of time to win this championship. Don't believe in the history of the Bernie's curse. They're all liars. All the community are, honestly. Right, so next team then, what we go on second page. The Dark Angels of Lilith, they got a good win. They'll be happy. The only thing what would make them happier is if they got some level ups, and did they get any level ups?
No, I don't think they got any level ups, but they did get 1 death.
Oh, bloody hell. What did they lose?
Number 1, Darth Dingo.
Oh, no, Darth Dingo! I like Darth Dingo! Who bloody killed Darth Dingo? What did Darth Dingo have? I like the name. I know he wasn't brilliant, but I liked him.
Yeah, should I take a quick? I kind of forgot what kind of skills he had.
How
Should
can
I
you
take a
forget
quick
that
look?
Darth Dingo? How can you forget poor Darth Dingo's skills? He wasn't the
Well,
one with kick, was he?
do you know do you know what kind of skills he had?
Don't
Do
be
you remember?
stupid. I'm bloody 43 almost. I can't remember. I'll be amazed if I remember what I did this morning. I think he had kick, though, off the top of my head. Maybe block
He
kick,
had
something like that, or dodge
he,
kick.
he had,
What did
he
he
had
have?
kick.
Yes!
No. He had block.
Did he
Just
not have
kidding.
kick?
He only had block, like nothing else. So it's not a huge loss.
I know, but I liked him. He felt like, I don't know, I felt he had potential and his life's been cut short by some nasty team. Which team killed him? Them bloody skinks, them bloody lizards. No good. I bet it was that bloody AV8, bloody thingamabob. Croxico.
Like true Dark Angels, I think they don't worry about it and just laugh and replace them
Right,
with.
so it's
with another one.
Talan of Ziggurat. That's the guy who did it. Whoever that is, he's the guy who killed Darth Dingo. I'm gonna find that out. I've gotta. What a terror! Going to work soon, and I see poor Darth Dingo.
In all seriousness, no, like Andy is gonna be like, okay, no problem. I'm just gonna replace this because he has a deep bank, like
Well, yeah, might
240k.
do, but you know. So it was the tackle block Saurus what did him over. Talang of Ziggurat.
Ah, okay.
I've got my eyes on that player now. I'm watching. Bloody killing Darth Dingo. Disgraceful. But apart from that, of losing Darth Dingo, that was...
As long as Darth Dodo isn't dead, we still have our favorite player on there, don't we?
Well, I actually quite like Darth Darkwing Duck, but I dare say Darth Devil Dinosaur, what a good game. But I dare say now, yeah, because Darth Dingo's dead. But yeah, but good result. He's got 240k in the bank. He's okay. Happy days.
Mm-hmm.
All done, I guess.
Yeah. No worries there.
Right then, time for the Hall of Shame. And I thought that was just reserved for my contract killers, the Chorfs, who embarrass me almost every week. But no, the Pirates of the World's End got beat up by some Amazon. Did they lose anything? Or did they get any level ups?
Pirates of the World's End. Let me take a quick look.
I know for a fact they've got a Mystics game kick wrestle piece, number 12, Annie Bonnie.
No, that's the only thing they got. That's the next game is the only thing they got.
Any level ups? No. They got a couple close though. It's just one of those things, you know. You have games like this. Unfortunately, it happened to him first week, but at least he's not lost anything. Would have been a lot worse. He's got plenty of time to get back into it. He's got 2 blockers, 1 off. I mean, one of them has potential to roll a double and get claw.
3 of them even.
No, I'm not about the claw piece. I was looking at the really good ones. I'm not bothered about James Hook and Henry Avery. They're just as bad as my bloody useless.
Fuck those players, right?
Yeah, basically. Until they become good, thingy of them. I mean, Jack Rackham's still about. He's still going all right. Number 11, he's still healthy. Basically, first week, put it behind you. Your team's still healthy. Rock up next week and just kill stuff.
It's looking good, and like Bernie said, if you have 2 players that close to leveling up, 2 experienced players, you gotta be happy about it. And the other 2 players also fine. Just get them to that point.
Yeah.
And we can talk about them next week or the week after it.
Absolutely. Chakra Changelings, the Dark Elves with all them ridiculous things. The team you really did like, and they lost.
Yeah.
We're not doing very well, are we? We're not doing very well.
Yeah, it's kind of a surprise, isn't it? Not
really.
In general, let me take a look.
Not really. Like we've tipped losers. Not really. No, we've cursed them. Any level ups or any negatives or anything dead?
I had number 13 as a level.
Oh, we got strength. You know, hell, I've only got 3 strength up players. Can I have another one? Of course you can. So strength 4 blitzer.
This is starting to look like a Jimmy team, doesn't it?
Yeah, a Jimmy team, but this team can play the ball, so that makes them even more dangerous. It does, because it's a lot easier to score with Dark Elves, than Chaos. So this team,
I think this team will rebound and we'll see a lot of wins after this one. Like
Yeah.
this can happen once, but it has the setups already. It has the little bit of utility with kick and the other stuff in it already.
Yeah.
I kind of expect him
The only
to
issue, obviously,
win
is
games.
with it being 2070, he's given a lot of inducements to some of these players who could, with wizards and stuff, and that could make it awkward. But the team
Yeah,
itself is good enough. I mean, the
but
Jilly Fire wrestle piece alone's Witch Elf's bloody good.
the
Um,
the
you know,
general rule of thumb with inducements anyway is that it doesn't really make up totally for the difference in team value.
mm,
So you should still expect him to see him win the games, even if the opponent gets a wizard or anything else like that.
fair enough.
Um,
Right, the final team, Fairy Hero, good old Keith Carr's indestructible rats. Now, I'm sure, apart from a lineman getting slapped, let's see what he got. Miss next game. I'm sure he didn't lose anything good.
he got number 3 leveled depths, and that's also a huge level up.
Oh, look at that.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
and I actually mistook Debs for Rhea in the when we was looking at the results because of the 10 points, but he really did well and made sure. Oh man, that is a nasty piece, isn't it? Chili far wrestle strip ball piece. That is, this team's getting nasty, isn't it?
on that kind of player, normally you're happy to get 2 heads on him. If you roll a double, you're like, oh, that's awesome! I can get 2 heads on him. This one has an agility up.
If you rolled a double now, would you go straight for horns?
Yeah.
Still,
Though Dauntless is also something that's possible. So it doesn't really matter, does it? He can also look at tackle.
Yeah.
So there's multiple options there, and
that's a nasty piece. That.
Yeah, he can just totally abuse the utility there with the 5 agility there. He doesn't have to necessarily be there just to strip the ball or anything. He can also pick it up, throw it to other players. There's so many options with that player going on now. So he's going to be totally happy with it.
Yeah. It's a scary team. It's getting better and better each time we see it. And at the moment, he's not losing anything. That's the key. And if these rats can keep taking a beating and come back the next week, then this team could quite easily finish top of the league, going on to better things. And we know he's a very good player, so well done to him, and hope for his sake the rats keep not dying.
And the red ogre there with the claw instead of the block. Kind of like it in this position because
I do. I like the claw because it just gives you a piece what is dangerous, and obviously a lot of people, instead of going for gut runners, will go for the rat ogre. They'll dial upon that instead. So yeah.
And it gave him some space to get some setups on the storm vermin instead of having to get mighty blow and claw. Just he already has a bashy aspect with that red ogre being there.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see. It's a nice development, and I hope it just stays and doesn't die on a random like normal block, like what happens to my my red ogres generally.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad.
Right.
But all the best on
Here we go. Week 2 predictions. I think we got a few right last week. I'm going to have to start writing them down and see how well we both do on these predictions, see how good we do. I'll have to go back and find out. But week 2, really good first game up. Gorkacidal tendencies. That's Zunk's Orc team versus the Jungle Beats, the Amazon. Who wins this one?
Think the Orcs will win again. Like they have the 2 diving tackle players. I don't agree with them being on the blitzers, but those can be effective versus this Amazon team.
I mean, I was impressed with the Jungle Beats, but I've got to admit with you, I'm going with Zunk in this one. I think the 2 mobile diving tackle blitzers, and with the Mighty Blow he's got, might be enough. He's both of them are very good coaches, so it wouldn't surprise me if this ends as a draw. But the thing I don't like about the Amazons, they're only all movement 6, so they aren't going to be able to outrun the blitzers of the Orc team, and the Orcs have got the strength advantage. I think this is a close game. It wouldn't surprise me if it's a 1-1 draw. I don't think there'll be many touchdowns in this game. There'll be no more than 2. But I'm going to say maybe a 1-0 win to the Gork Saddle tendencies. So I think Zung gets his second win in
I
the
agree
week.
with you. I think it's going to go that way, 1-0,
Yeah.
something like that.
Right, the Dwarfs then, good first week. They got to win the big cups against the Boondock Skinks. You know, the killer of Mr. Dingo himself. Shame on him. Who gets the win, the Dwarfs or do the big, strong Lizards bounce back in week 2?
I think normally I'm not that fond of bashy teams, to be honest, but I think I got to give it again to the bashier team of the two here, and
The Dwarfs.
it's going to be the Dwarfs.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, but I was impressed the way the Dwarfs got it done first week, and I think they'll get it done again this week.
Yeah.
And obviously, how brave will the Boondock Skinks be with their superstar who let him down first week, and he's going to go into tackle this week? He could end up killing himself trying to one-turner. So yeah, for that reason, the Big Cups get the second win, and they'll be joining the Orcs up near top, if we're right, of course.
If we're right.
Interesting, juicy third game though. A Wendo's Requiem, the Undead, who absolutely ripped everything against them dirty rats, against my brothers Embalmed, who went down to the Orcs. It's Undead versus Khemri. Who wins?
Undead versus Khemri. I kind of want to give it to the Khemri here because I'm quite impressed with their team.
Yep.
I think they can hold their own versus the Undead here.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go on the Khemri train because you know what? I've said he'll win the division, and I still believe he can win the division. And I'm going for the Khemri. It'll be a really good slugfest. I hope it's not a boring 0-0 draw.
That's very neat. It's something weird is happening. This is already
we're all agreeing. We're agreeing on all of them, aren't we? This is a worry. Yeah, I'd be worried if we both tipped you. That's pretty bad. Yeah, so my brothers Embalmed, yeah, I'll agree with you. I just hope it's not a 0-0 board draw. Bet Space Bounty Hunters, your love of your life, or your new love of your life, versus the Dark Angel Heretics of Lilith. Who gets it done?
You kind of know which side I'm going for. Like I have seen Papillon play this game versus the Nurgle. Been thoroughly impressed with him, and I kind of expect him to pick up the win here as well.
Right. I didn't see the Dark Angels play, but you know what? I'm going to go for a draw.
A draw.
I can see the Dark Angels doing enough here to get a draw. Although as much as I was impressed with the way the Bretts played, this is a different thing for them. They're not against Nurgle this way. They're against Dark Elves who've got a good win. So I think this could be our first draw of the lot of them.
Yeah, that could be something.
But we never usually right anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Happening here in this division, you know?
Yeah.
No draws whatsoever.
Now, this next game, well, this is two teams that need to bounce back. Crusaders of Kaldor got absolutely smashed by the nose. And the Pirates of the Wild End, they got beat by the Amazons. The Chorfs beaten by the Amazons. Shame on them Chorfs. Who bounces back this week?
It kind of depends on who wins the coin flip there, doesn't it? A little bit. Like I kind of if the Crusaders, I don't want to be too negative about it, but if the Crusaders win the coin toss here, I think we'll see a draw.
Right.
If the Pirates win it, I think we'll see the Pirates win. I think the Pirates will win this one in the end.
It's a tricky one because obviously the Chorfs have got the tackle, they've got the mighty blow, they've got the claw, and there's a lot of niggle injuries on the other side. Yeah. The High Elves certainly have enough firepower to basically blow the Chorfs away if they want to. It's a really tricky game, this. I don't see the Chorfs winning this. I'll be honest, and I want to cheer on the Chorfs, but I can see the Crusaders hanging on here. Do they get the win? I want to say they do, but unfortunately, they run out of players, but the score before that, and it's a 1-1 draw.
I kind of feel like the same way. I think like it could end up in a draw.
It's a nasty one. It's a tricky one. And again, because it's early in the season, we're trying to learn which coach does what. I think the Crusaders just get it done. I mean, I was tempted to go for Crusaders win, because I have the vision of that leaper coming in, getting the ball loose. Thanks for that. Go in and go boom, boom, 2-0. Cat catchers win 2-1. But I'll go with the draw 1-1. And I'll be cursing next week that I should have gone 2-1. Tall Dwarfs with no evade. What an impressive win. The Ulfuerna strikes back. Against Chakra Changelings, the team you was really keen on, but had a bad day at the office against the Dwarfs. Do they bounce back against the Norse this week?
What I think what will happen is like it's going to be turn for 14, you know, and the Dark Elves are carrying the ball, and then the tall dwarfs with no VC that they have a free over and are ready to blitz the ball carrier, and then they blitz the ball carrier, and then they don't realize that it's a strength 3 over, thus failing the blitz and losing the game by that. So the Chakra Changelings win the game there.
All right, fair enough. You're going to go with that. This is a really tricky one. If the AV holds on the Norse, I quite like them. There's so much firepower on the Chakra Changelings, but you know what? I'm going to go with the Norse because they went toe-to-toe with some scary people last season. I think they got a great win last week. And you know what? I can see this Norse team, the taste of blood. They like the taste of blood. They're going to get these Dark Elves and snap them in half, rip some heads off and drink their blood and get the win. I don't know how much they're going to win by. Maybe 1, 2, 3. Who knows? But I guarantee you the Norse break the Dark Elves this week and leave them in a bloody mess. And the Norse win. Now I've said that will come next week and the Norse will be destroyed, but hey. Flylord 7th, the Nagel. Can they bounce back against the Dairy Rats of Fairy Harem and Keith Carr?
It's quite a hard game for Skaven to play in general versus Nurgle.
With all this presence and the beast.
I know Keith got a good team and he's a good coach, and is also a good coach. I kind of expect a draw here. So that's the only one in the whole list that I'm going for a draw.
Right. Well, this is the Bernie Banker of the week. My Banker of the week. The Rats rack up a score. 2-3-0. He may let the Nagel get a TD if he's feeling generous enough. I can see 3-1, 4-1. Keith Carr will score as many as he wants to. There's nothing on this Nagel team what scares me. Get it done. It just depends how many the Rats want to rack up in this game. Banker of the week. They get a triple B rating. They will win. There you go. That's how confident I am. So confident in Keith Carr this week. No disrespect to the Nagel, but this Nagel team's going to have a nightmare. If they thought the bloody Bear Space Bounty Hunters were a nightmare in week 1 frustrating, they ain't seen nothing yet. Keith Carr's great team. Get it done. The Claw Rat will probably kill a few as well, because that's what he does. And the Rats will send a message to the rest of the comp this week. Guarantee,
well,
they will not lose.
Like I always root for the Reds coach, so I'll be happy if Furry Harem wins. But realistically, I feel like it's going to be a draw. But we'll see.
I'm never wrong with a triple B rating. Never wrong, honestly. Don't believe what everyone says about it. No, I think Furry Harem gets this done. 3-1, 4-1. Yeah, it's gonna be the biggest scoring game if Keith Carr wants it to be.
It could be like I said, it could be a typical Skaven game again, but we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
But anyway, that's us done then. So there you go. Another wonderful, God knows how long we've talked about this week. I'd like to say it'll be probably shorter next week, but it probably won't. Anyone who actually watched the full video deserves a medal and much respect.
Yeah, definitely.
But like I said, we just give our tips, and we got nothing against anybody. We just
please, guys, give us feedback about it. Tell us what you feel about it, how you feel about it. If we should shorten things up or keep things the way we are doing, because we like to do it this way. It's a nice way to give everyone a bit of attention.
Yeah, because every team's important in the division.
Yeah, definitely.
No matter where you are on it, you're all Rebel coaches. You all got Rebel teams, and everyone loves their teams. And this is the way we do it to give you all a bit of glory. It shouldn't be just for the top teams. It should be for everybody, and that's what we try and do. We give our honest opinion, and it's never anything personal. But there we go. We done out with mate. We done. And the first week's over and done with. I'm praying my week 2 isn't as bad as week 1, or I will be weeping.
Wow.
Very
weeping. We still got another recap to do this week. Remember that?
Yeah, I can remember. The reason, by the way, this was done before the other one was because these had played all the games. The other division had one game still outstanding. So because these guys got the games done quicker, they got the recap first. Remember that. Whoever gets the recap done, whoever plays all the games first, they get the recap before the other one. That's how we do it. Yeah, so there you go. All done and dusted. So well done to everybody for week 1. Let's hope you can put on another good show in week 2. And all the best to all the coaches. And we'll see you next week. And hope for more death, glory, touchdowns. And hopefully me and Hunter will have actually at least tipped one winner out the full schedule. Take care.
Exactly. See you guys.